What advice do you have for someone that like is in a similar position?
Hey, keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Nothing
Keep
else
going.
you can do.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Drinks After Work with your hosts, Shannen and Abby, where we give you that after work, happy hour energy and talk about everything other than work, baby.
Woo! Welcome back to episode 29. If you guys are watching on YouTube, then you can see that we have not one, not two, but three guests in the studio today.
Three
That's
men,
the first
too.
time. Yeah, we've had one male guest, but not three.
Definitely not three.
This
I think
is
I would have
new.
remembered that. We had three.
I
male
agree.
guests.
There's a first for everything.
Exactly.
This is true.
So our guests are like us. They like to work hard and play hard. But I think we can all agree that no one likes waking up on a Saturday morning at 2 p.m., severely hungover, filled with regret with last night's decisions.
And all of a sudden you're texting your grandma and you're like, I'm so sorry I can't grab lunch with you because I'm a piece of shit and I'm hungover.
No, absolutely nothing productive is getting accomplished after a night out. But our guest today took one for the team and decided to do something about it.
Yes, absolutely. So we're really excited to have in the studio today. We have Thomas, Tim, and Mark. I got your names right?
Yes.
All right. Gold star for me. I was like sweating for a second. I was like, I have to get this right. Hardest thing I've done all day. Anyways, we have them in the studio today. So welcome, guys. So great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You crushed that intro.
Oh,
Honestly.
thank you. Okay. We always talk about with the intro because you were like, I'm not doing the intro. I feel like someone has to do the intro, which actually brings us to you guys' intro. So there's three of you. We want to hear about how Dezo started, how you started this awesome company, this brand, and how you guys are just absolutely taking off. Do you all have the same elevator pitch that you use, or do you guys all have a different version of the story? And if so, who do you think can tell the story best?
So every single meeting, partnership meeting, investor meeting, it always starts with the story. That's usually me, and then Mark talks about the market. Thomas talks about the product. So I'll give you guys the brief backstory of how the three of us came together.
Okay.
Mark and I are originally from Boston. We've known each other since we were in 5th grade. Went to elementary school together, high school together.
Oh, cute.
And yeah, so Mark's family actually owns the oldest bar in the U.S., Bell in Hand Tavern.
We know Bell in Hand well.
Yeah, we've spent many nights there. Nights.
Wait, so your parents own Bell in Hand?
They do.
How did that, sorry to cut you off,
No
how did
worries.
that come about?
My great-grandparents, they bought the place.
They were booze bags.
Took over.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, you're either on one side or the other in the liquor industry. You either drink, you either use your own supply or you don't. So fortunate to be on the light side of everything.
Yeah, I think that's the smart side to be on.
Yeah. Usually the other side doesn't work out too well.
Yeah, I feel like I would just be like at the bar drinking every day.
Yeah.
We play both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love
So Mark and I are originally from Boston. Thomas is from Los Angeles originally. And Thomas and I met in college. We went to school in New Orleans at Tulane. We were in the same fraternity for 4 years, and obviously going to school in New Orleans, we're going out and drinking a fair amount. And I picked Thomas up one morning. We were seniors. I picked him up on a Saturday morning. We were out the night before. And he gets in the front seat of my Jeep, and he looks at me, and he's like, visibly hungover, and he's like, dude, I can't keep doing this. This is terrible. He's like, how do we make a convenient drink that tastes really good and could potentially mitigate how you feel the next day by using these, vitalizing ingredients? And I was like, that sounds like a really great idea. How do we do this? We kind of just had a 2-hour hungover conversation.
Productive?
And yeah, super productive. And when you're hungover, you think it's the greatest idea in the world. You're like, oh my God, this is it. This is the one.
Drinking with no repercussions.
Yeah, exactly. And so we graduate, and Mark was a year ahead of us. He had already graduated. He was living in Los Angeles. Okay. And so we both graduate. I end up moving in with Mark in LA. Thomas
and just by chance,
home.
you also lived in LA as well.
He's from LA.
Right, that's what I mean.
Oh, originally.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
So I move in with Mark, and the first conversation he has with me in our apartment is that he was making this crazy drink back at the Bell in Hand in Boston. It's coconut water based, acai berry, gluten-free vodka. And he's like, so you get all these hydrating properties, electrolytes, antioxidants. And I was like, that sounds like the idea that Thomas and I just talked about at Tulane 3 months ago.
Wow.
So I called Thomas, introduced Thomas to Mark, and Mark made the drink in the kitchen, made 3 different iterations of it. Tasted great, and we all kind of looked at each other. We were like, let's run with it from here and see how far we can take it. And that was about 3 years ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So do you have bartending experience, or was it kind of just something because your family bought Bell in Hand that you grew up?
I have mixology experience.
Mixology, okay.
Yeah, I like that term.
Very fancy.
I can bartend. I'm more proficient at just making drinks for my friends.
Is this drink available at the Bell in Hand? Like if I'm a 21-year-old
Really?
girl?
Yes.
Okay,
Very
gotcha.
Does it have a name?
The cocktail?
Yeah, that you created. Oh, Dezo. Oh, okay.
No,
but back at
The original one?
yeah,
Right, yeah.
like was it ever on the menu, or is it kind of just
No,
something?
it wasn't. It was
Oh,
something
okay,
my
gotcha.
friends. It's a joke, but the Ketz Express is like typically what the cocktails get called. That
Dezo is a little bit better though. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
evolved.
Kes Express, then Cocoa Light, and now it's Dezo.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so basically you're sitting there, you're hungover. By the way, which fraternity were you guys in college?
We were in Sigma Phi Epsilon.
Okay. Cool.
Rest in peace.
Oh, it's no longer.
Yeah, they got kicked off.
Oh yeah,
campus.
most of the frats I went to
Are
UNH, most of them are gone.
It's all they're all gone.
Wait, so when did you guys graduate?
We graduated
2018.
2018.
Yeah, I
2018?
was 17.
17. Okay, so you're the same age as us, and same age as most of our listeners. So
Okay, so basically you guys are sitting there in Los Angeles. He's concocting drinks. You're tasting them. You're like, these are awesome. How did you get from there to let's actually, package these, create a product? Did it happen right away, or?
Yeah, we kind of, when we came together around the idea, we had the foresight to know that this was going to be special. Just going into the space, we understood that all products that we were drinking didn't have any value add. They were all seltzers with trying to get to 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugars. There was nothing that actually made you feel better as you were consuming alcohol and could actually mitigate what was happening in your body negatively. So we knew that with coconut water, we could create something that would actually mitigate your hangover. And when we started talking about it, we realized that there was other fruits that had these beneficial properties. And we thought, how do we expand this product line to create a whole plethora of products that could help mitigate your hangover?
That's
so
so.
interesting.
It sounds, I'm sure for you guys, someone like myself, I'm like, did someone go to like school to be a nutritionist? Like, does anyone have a background in like nutrition, or do you guys just like,
You just know about
that these things?
I mean, we learned everything on the fly and did tons of research and field testing. Like the amount of times our friends drank cocktails that we were concocting, like it was every weekend, all the time.
Wow, I wish I was friends with you guys.
Yeah,
That's
what?
fun.
We're hanging at the wrong.
We're friends now.
Exactly.
The friends that make you drinks all the time. I love that.
what?
Sounds like a good deal.
We still are the biggest alcohol supplier to like every 25-year-old in LA that we're friends with. So.
Love that. Okay. Amazing. No, I was actually funny that you brought that up too, because I was with my friends this past weekend and we were talking about, what were we drinking, like White Claws or something, and we were saying how like there's like it's malt liquor. It doesn't say what it is. It doesn't
They're
say
very
like.
shady about
We
their
realized
ingredients.
that we were like, how have none of us realized this before? We were looking at the backs. We were like, is it vodka? Like what's in it? And it never actually explicitly says what the alcohol is. And I thought that was a little sketchy when I saw that.
Yeah.
It's purposefully misleading.
Oh, okay.
It's actually excess sugar cane for the most part. So literally you're consuming sugar, which is the #1 cause of dehydration and bloating and hangovers.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we're all about transparency. Like if you turn the can around, 5 simple ingredients, you know exactly what you're putting inside your body.
That's amazing.
No BS, no bullshit.
That's so cool. Okay, so basically you guys realized this like huge hole within the spiked seltzer game, and you're like, we can bring something different that's never been done before. You realize you had this amazing product. How do you take an amazing idea and turn it into a brand? Like turn it into a
Where do you
company?
even start? Because I feel like so many people have good ideas, but
And
they
they're
don't
like, what
know
do
where
I
to
do
begin.
next? Like, how do I get the exposure?
Right.
I mean, for us, we were just like ideating on like ideas for the first 6 months, just talking about where we want to take the brand, researching as much as possible, having conversations that are, people that are well-versed in the liquor space, CPG space, distribution. And thankfully, just between me and Mark's connections through distribution and on-premise and like his family's bar, had a lot of relationships in the liquor space that helped us just kind of understand where we could take this product and see the trajectory of the space, the ready-to-drink category. And then we got introduced to this flavor house in New Jersey that really helped us start to create a tangible product that we could start to take to potential investors and partners.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Flavor House. What's that like? You go there and you tell them like what you want, and they help actually.
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
And they have experience building these types
They're
of products.
chemists and scientists.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably, just for listeners too, the most important thing when you're getting a business off the ground is to create a product as quickly as possible and to start getting that product into the market and getting feedback. That's probably the biggest fault I see people make, is they try to like overdo it or create the perfect thing. But it's more about just getting something as quickly as possible and iterating as quickly as possible.
So did you ever have like a rough draft, almost like something that you guys thought was it, and then someone was like no, and you had to start over?
We had about 20 of those.
Yeah.
20? Okay.
We knew
Well, that's
exactly. Yeah, we knew exactly where we wanted the product to go and like what we wanted it to taste like. When we first all conceived the idea 3 years ago, we were like, how do we make this the taste that we're drinking right now in our can?
Right.
And so we went through like 20 iterations of the coconut water. And so obviously they were based in New Jersey, so like it was always phone calls like, can you guys change this, like ship this new sample back to us? And so yeah, there was a ton of
overnighted.
they had to ship it cross country. Wow, that's insane. When you say you want to get something out as fast as possible, is it because you don't want other people to steal your idea, or is it just because you'll obsess over it too much and you won't?
It's very unlikely that you're gonna make it perfect your first go around.
Right.
So just the quicker you can get something into the marketplace, the quicker you can get feedback. And at the end of the day, it's customers deciding what's good and what's not. So if you can get that feedback early on instead of building in a bubble, you're going to be a lot better off in the long run.
Okay, that makes sense. And this whole time, by the way, did you guys have other jobs, or did you decide you wanted this to be your main thing right off the bat?
Yeah, we all had 9-to-5 jobs, and then this was like our 5 to 9, so to speak.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a good term. I don't hear people say that. Is that like an actual?
That's a thing, yeah.
You say it all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. This is kind of our 5 to 9.
Someone like said it to me recently, and I was like, I'm gonna start using that. That's pretty good.
I like that because it literally is.
Yeah.
That's what we did too when we started the podcast. We still have 9-to-5 jobs.
Full-time
so
jobs.
we would get out of work and we would work till sometimes like later than 9. But you have to. I feel like.
Yeah, 5 to 9 to put it lightly.
What do you guys do? Do we get to ask questions?
Sure.
You guys can interview us if you want.
We can flip the table. I'm an EA, so I'm an executive assistant. I actually met Shannen at the company that she works at now. So I worked there for 2 years, and now I moved on to a different industry, but Shannen's still at her company.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm a sales executive. So we met at work, and that's how we conceptualize the idea of drinks after work.
Makes sense.
I think our brands go so well together because our whole idea is, me and Abby sat down a year ago. We were like, there's so many people out there that are, as you guys know, you live in LA, influencers or, podcasters or whatever they do. And during the week, they have the luxury of, getting to go shopping, get their nails done, like do things for themselves. And we were like, well, most, people who want to get a business off the ground or who are hustling in their 20s, they're like working a regular corporate job during the week. They're working at night. They're working weekends. So we wanted to kind of start something of like, how do you appeal to those people that are like, overworked, underappreciated. They like to play hard, but also work hard. So
Smart.
A realistic brand, we like to say.
Exactly.
brand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So was there ever a time that you thought Dezo wasn't going to launch?
I don't think about launch, but definitely we've had a few scary moments where we thought it was going to fail.
What advice do you have for someone that like is in a similar position?
Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Nothing
Keep
else
going.
you can do.
Yeah.
What was your
Persistence.
biggest roadblock for you guys?
I mean, there was a time when we had cans exploding, like
wow.
all the money we had left, we put into all these samples, and they were all leaking and exploding, and we had no money left.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. A lot of production issues at first.
Yeah.
COVID obviously was a huge roadblock.
Yeah, I was gonna
100%.
ask, did that put things on hold?
You guys launched like last July, right? Officially.
End of July.
End of
2020.
July.
I mean, we launched by us getting into one store, like the 3 of us, and then from there it was
During
like,
COVID.
Let's go to another store.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
go to another, like fully one by one.
Oh, amazing.
In the middle of the pandemic.
In the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
How did COVID impact the business, I guess? Was it just like a matter of stores where like we're not taking other?
It honestly impacted every part of the business,
Okay.
from the supply chain to accounts taking in new products to our ability to have events and get people tasting the
Overall marketing
product.
strategies.
Right.
Like a big thing for us is like we stand behind the taste of the product. So a big marketing spend before COVID hit was having samplings at like all of our accounts and retail accounts to get people to actually taste the product. And when COVID hit, like that obviously was not allowed. And like even if you're going to a grocery store, you're in and out as quickly as possible.
You're not like perusing like
exactly.
what's
Let
the
alone
best.
trying a drink that somebody else could be
That's
touching.
so true. Because I feel like nowadays, if I go to the grocery store, I would when I go like to find alcohol, I always look at things that are pretty. So I would see this and be like, oh wow, this is kind of pretty, and then I would like read what's in it and everything. And I feel like people weren't doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Did you guys know, like, since you were young, that you wanted to do something a little bit different than everyone else did, or did you think like you were gonna go the traditional route and you just happened upon this amazing idea and you couldn't not do it?
Yeah, I mean, I was so on the last podcast, Joe asked us the same question, and being from Boston, like I loved like basketball, and I was like, I want to be a Celtics player, like in fifth, like this is like middle school, and then like I got older, I was like, that's probably not going to be a reality at some point. So in college, I was a finance major for like the first 2 years, and then I was like, I don't want to work a 9-to-5 job behind a desk doing the same thing every single day.
9 to 9 in finance.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the typical like trajectory, especially from the East Coast. Yep. And so, I just didn't want to do the same stagnant job every single day. So that kind of made the decision for me to kind of blaze my own trail.
Yeah, I definitely thought I wanted to sell a product like this, like a consumer product, packaged goods, foods. I've just always been into health and fitness, and I always thought that there was room for improvement in every single product I saw. I never told anyone that, but that was really what I wanted to do deep down. So I'm so glad we kind of manifested that.
That's really deep and amazing. I love that.
It
really is. Yeah, it's from the heart.
Please don't.
From the heart. That's beautiful.
Imagine.
I was always just looking to expand my family's business.
Okay.
And this was a pretty natural extension. I was working before this on software products for entertainment venues. So I always kind of was in the space in different ways. The Bell is fortunate to be a really successful business. So there's a lot of things that they do well, and I really wanted to package those insights and bring them to other places.
See, that's also beautiful.
Doing it for the fam.
We literally were talking about this the other week. That was so funny. You literally just said it. We were on our podcast and we were saying the thing that you're meant to do is the thing you're constantly thinking about, but you don't want to say out loud. Right. So basically, like, since I was young, I've always wanted to do something either in front of a camera or in front of people, but like I never would tell people that, because if you're like, oh, I want to be a TV host, people are like, haha, yeah, right. Yeah. But it's always those things that deep down I feel like you're supposed to do. So that's so cool.
100%.
I love that.
Yeah. Is there any advice that you have for someone that is hesitant to make that first step? Like what was it? Because at least for Shannen and I, it took me going to Shannen and say, hey, listen, like I want to do this. I want to start a podcast. I think we should do this. Let's do it. So I know for you two, it started with you two. Like who was like the first one, and like how did you guys get on board all together?
I was the first one to quit my job.
Okay.
Oh, you completely quit? Yeah,
I completely quit. And then I was just like doing a bunch of research myself, like writing down all these ideas. And then I was just like, I was texting Thomas because I knew Mark was doing really well at his software startup. And I was like, Thomas, like if we're going to do this, like we got to go 100% in. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. And yeah, so I convinced him slowly over the next 3 weeks for him to quit his job.
Well, only 3 weeks?
We had an exit plan.
Every night you're like,
we
quit your job, quit your job. Have some Dezo to quit your job.
We expedited our exit plan like heavily.
Oh.
So to get things going a lot quicker. Yeah. There was a plan in place.
Well, could you tell people a little bit into that exit plan? Like what exactly does that consist of?
Raise a bunch of money.
The exit plan was let's raise the money to do this first, the safe thing, and then quit our jobs. And ended up being, we've worked for 1 year out of college. We don't have that much money. Let's quit our jobs and then figure out how to raise the money for this and, forego, salaries and not really know if this was going to work at first. But I think because we had no choice but success at that point, like it honestly changed the landscape. Totally.
Sometimes there's nothing more motivating than debt. Is what my boss always used to say. Yeah. He was like, my best advice, you get a job, move to the city, get an apartment you can't afford. He's like, you're going to close more deals that way. I was like,
stay hungry.
Yeah. So did you guys go like the VC route, or like how did you kind of start raising the money?
We bootstrapped it for a while, just all the money that we made from our 9-to-5 jobs. And then it was strategic angel investors.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Okay, let's transition. I think if some people are listening to this and they probably recognize at least one of you guys. So Tim, on TikTok. I know that you kind of blushed earlier when we brought it up, but we had to bring it up. So over the past year, you've absolutely blown up on TikTok. How many followers does he have?
1.3 million.
That's my numbers, girl.
With a collective, with a collective 70 million likes. So clearly, you're doing something right.
You're doing something right. Can you tell us a little bit? So you start this company. It's growing. It's becoming successful. You've sold over 100,000 of these, right? At this point,
150,000.
150,000. Yeah. Okay. What made you decide, all right, I'm going to get on TikTok?
So I was always talking about TikTok to these two because it was like a brand new social media platform. And I was like, how do we potentially leverage this for Dezo? Like, people don't even know how to use the app yet. And you're seeing like all these like crazy explosive growth from people and different brands and stuff like that. And I was like, this is, it's like the wild, wild west. Like, let's capitalize on this. And COVID hit. We're like, locked down for 24 hours a day. And I turned to Mark and I was like, dude, like, I'm just going to jump on TikTok and see what happens. And if I can grow a following, like, I'm just going to leverage it for the company. And I posted
a couple viral videos later.
I was really just posting like for my own enjoyment at the beginning, like just making myself laugh. I didn't really care about like growth of the followers.
You posted a video and like chuckle to yourself.
Yeah, I just kind of like rewatch it 10 times. Thought it was hysterical.
Yeah. Sometimes I do that to myself. I'm like, does anyone else think it was funny?
And he's like, is this funny, guys?
I'm like, I'll put it before I post. I'll put it in group text. Be like, yo, you guys think this is funny? Should I post this? Like,
stop. Yeah. Guys do that too.
Okay.
That's very comforting.
It's validating because girls are like, is this funny? Should I post this?
And I posted one video that was like me making fun of how like white guys pose for pictures, and it was like the one like this pose, and then it got like 2 million views, and I was like, then I really saw like the power of TikTok.
Wow.
I was getting all these texts from people I haven't spoken to in like years, months, and they're like, dude, you're TikTok famous now. And
how far into like your TikTok career was this?
It's like a couple weeks.
Yeah,
honestly.
That's
right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
It honestly might have been within the first week.
Like
it was pretty instant.
If you go for the white boys photo posing, like you can't go wrong there. It's pretty horrendous.
Yeah. And so I continuously just kept posting videos and grew the following, and a year later we're here.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I have to bring it up. So I know there was like a pivotal moment, right, where you started going towards posting a little bit more like risque videos, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how did that happen, and like why did you decide to continue with that?
There was one video that I posted, and it was like, so you can like respond to comments on TikTok.
Yeah.
So there was one girl or lady, I don't even know how old she was, but she commented.
Woman.
She commented. She was like, I have a husband, but I like think I'm falling for you or something like that. And I was like, this would be hysterical to respond to, like just to see people's reactions. And I responded with the Weeknd's lyrics, which is like, I think your girl falls in love with me. And I posted it right before I went to bed. And I woke up, I had like 45,000 followers, and I was like, oh, I was like, people like the more edgy stuff. Yeah. So that's when I started to kind of curate everything towards the risques.
I think
good word for it.
Yeah.
I know. I like the word risque.
Yeah.
I think that's so interesting because, the saying like nice guys finish last. Like, do you think that there's like kind of like truth behind that? Because I feel like,
girls like the bad boys.
I think it's more confidence.
Confidence.
I think confidence is important, but I don't necessarily agree with the bad guy stuff. Yeah.
No.
Well, not even like bad guy, but like I feel like a nice guy, like who's like more quiet and reserved, like he's not gonna get like as much TikTok views and like likes.
Yeah,
but the second you start to like be like more open and a little risque, the likes come in.
I think the thing, like Mark kind of touched on it, but also like being more open and like in touch with like your emotional side of things, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. Like for guys, there's like this whole stigma that you have to be like masculine and like you have to be cool and like all this stuff. And so I think if you're a little bit more just open and you're like kind of like your raw self, not to say that what I post on TikTok is like me entirely. And I spoke about this on a podcast recently where it's like you only get to see so much about somebody on a social media platform.
So 60 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not really getting the full picture of who that person is. But yeah, I don't really fully agree with the nice guys finish last.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So I was gonna say earlier, because if I were to watch you on TikTok and then talking to you now, very, very different like people, right? Different personas. Would you consider, and I don't know if this is like the right phrase for it, but would you consider that to be like almost like a personality or like a stage like a show that you're putting on, or do you think that is like a part of who you are?
There is definitely some truth to it for sure. But like I said, like there's definitely once it's grown so much, like I know what people like want to see, so it is a bit of like a personality act at this point.
Right.
But like there is, a vein of truth to it.
We had a TikToker on that we interviewed like a couple months ago, and I'd like to ask this to every TikToker: do you believe quality or quantity with posting TikToks? Because everyone's answer is different, so I'm really interested to hear yours.
At first, I think it was quantity.
Quantity.
Because you saw like the explosion of TikTok during COVID.
Yeah.
And like everybody was just sitting on their phones consuming content on the app.
Right.
And now I think it's more about quality because COVID's done. Every state's reopened. You have a lot more things to do. You're not sitting on your phone. So.
And there's a lot more people creating content on TikTok. Like something that we identified was there's no big male influencers on TikTok when you started. Yeah. And you really took over that segment for girls, it was all
Charlie,
girls posting
Addison,
content.
right?
Yeah.
And then there was like the Hype House, the Sway House.
The Sway Boys.
Sway.
Oh, God.
So do you guys think about getting on TikTok too, or you're like, no, it's...
Do you have TikTok?
I have one, I haven't posted.
You don't post?
At first, I posted a couple times, like the first week, and didn't go viral, and I was like...
That's it.
I put, like, the first couple videos I tried to post took, like, 2 hours. And I was like, this isn't something I'm going to be able to do.
It's hard.
Can't maintain this.
Every time we post a TikTok, I'm like, we need
like sweating.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, you can clearly get better at it. Like, when he used to see me do it, he's like, dude, it's easy. Like, and I'd be like sitting there for 45 minutes.
I'm like, wait, dumb it down.
Just quiet in the
Dumb it
corner for like
down.
an hour. I'm like, Thomas, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to make a TikTok.
So that lasted about 2 weeks.
What about you? Do you have TikTok? Do you TikTok?
I have a TikTok for consuming content.
Yeah.
I
don't post?
No, I don't. I'm more of like a personal content guy.
Yeah.
Professional content, fun content.
Are you guys like his hype man? Like you're like, he posts something and you're like, all right, dude, you look dope in that.
No, they keep me in
They
check.
don't?
Absolutely not.
The exact opposite, actually.
He knows he looks good.
You know, girls are like, go off, sis. Like, do you guys do it to each other? No.
So if we go through your comments, we won't see them commenting like.
Well, it's not content for us. You know?
Yeah,
it's not
the target
I feel like you
audience.
guys are
Thomas and Mark are not my target audience.
That's fair.
I'm kind of getting that vibe. Yeah.
But we're supportive.
fair.
That's
all that matters.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. It's good to be supportive. And it's cool because like every little thing you guys have, even talking to the three of you, you can tell you have such different personalities that fit into your business model so well, which is awesome. Someone brought up comments. Do you read hate comments?
Well, the only time I'll read hate comments is if I see like a video that like someone duetted of me. And like I don't know like off the bat, so I'll see like a duet. I'm like, oh, someone like duetted one of my videos, and then I'll start reading the hate comments. I'm like, it's like ruins my day. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. So it's
Do you
tough,
delete or block them or
no
leave them?
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
No.
Like,
We never did.
just
We
keep
never agree
scrolling.
on this either.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I like to ask. We had a YouTuber on, Maggie McDonald, a couple weeks ago, and she deletes her hate comments on her YouTube videos and her TikToks. And our first viral, so Shannen and I, we posted a TikTok. What month was that? Like, I don't know. I don't even know.
It was like our second TikTok, and
I think
Abby's like, if this doesn't go viral, I quit. I was
Yeah, I think it was
she's like you.
I think it was back in January, and I mean, it wasn't like viral like your level, but it was like, I don't know, it's like 150,000 views, like a decent amount of views. Yeah. But like I remember our first hate comment, and I screenshot and I sent it to Shannen. I was like, but don't worry, girl.
She was like, I blocked them. I deleted them. Like I found their social security number. Like I'm gonna
she was so
blackmail
mad.
them next month. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, just leave it up there. Who cares? And she was like, no, like screw them and like curse the day they were born. I was like, dude, stop reading the comments.
Yeah. You just don't want to have to play like whack-a-mole with that, you know?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, it'll be lost in the abyss. The internet has a really short attention span.
Yeah.
Especially TikTok.
Especially TikTok.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It's just not worth like the brain space capacity to like worry about that.
Yeah.
Like I'm never gonna see that person ever again. No, I've never seen you before. Like it doesn't.
That's
true. You're like an internet warrior, and it's
I stop now.
Yeah.
I don't delete or block anyone anymore.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You've grown.
I
think that's one of the most motivating things for me is like we always talk about when we started this podcast. At first, we were so scared. We didn't tell any of our friends about it. We didn't tell, or we told our friends.
Well, we started last June/July,
and we kept it a secret.
and we didn't tell anyone
because we were like, what if people make fun
until
of us?
this past November. We didn't tell anyone, and especially our coworkers, until we signed with Big Night in November.
Yeah.
So from literally June, July to November, like no one at work knew. only our immediate friend groups knew.
Like where do they keep going on lunch breaks?
I know, literally. But we like kept it a secret because we were so scared. But then when we realized is that when we did start, I'm sure there's people that talk shit about us, but you don't see them.
Right.
Like, because the people, they're like you said, they're hiding behind their screens. They're not like out there. Like, no one goes up to me and is like, Shannen, I think you're an idiot.
Right.
Right? Like in person. So you don't really see or hear of it. And I feel like that actually was kind of freeing for me because I was like, I don't need to like read the comments. I don't need to know what people are saying. And like, I'm just going to do my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think moving in silence is a strategy sometimes with you guys too, because people will say stuff and they'll like, try and influence the stuff you're talking about, and you don't even need to hear that. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
In one ear and out the other.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no like famous person or person that's made it that people don't talk shit about. Like if you're,
100%.
if people are saying bad
You
shit
ain't
about
got
you,
no
you're
haters.
Exactly.
You ain't popping.
Yeah, people are always gonna have something to say about what you're doing, even if it's positive. Like I'm sure people talk about Dezo behind our backs here and there. You know,
oh,
what I mean?
like I hate how good I feel the next morning. It sucks.
Who says that?
I'm never hungover anymore.
Way too many electrolytes.
Said no one ever. Okay. So we posted on our story asking you guys for questions, and we have a couple.
All right.
But we're going to start off on brand. What is your favorite place in the Boston area to get a drink after work?
I'll start. I'm going to go with 3 places.
Ooh,
Okay.
That's fine with you
The
guys.
trifecta.
Absolutely.
I obviously have to shout out the Bell.
Yep.
the bell.
Fair.
Amazing. Second, love the Encore. We also have Dezo there.
Ooh.
Great vibe. And third, Scorpion Bar.
Okay.
I think you guys are crushing it.
big
Yeah. Yep.
I love
Love
that.
that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's a good lineup.
I would have to go with the Lincoln.
Ooh, okay.
Southie
Southie.
boy.
Yeah.
Right.
Love that.
I get that.
I'm not that familiar with Boston. I've been there 3
Okay.
times. The
Okay.
Bell and Hand Tavern, the best bar in America,
The best and
Okay.
oldest bar in America.
and Scorpion Bar.
Yeah.
Scorpion Bar
Never
has
saw
the
that bar.
dancers, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're
You're
going
like-
to the Grand, but you're not.
If you're ever trying to like catch a vibe, like, and you're at the Scorpion Bar, like sometimes I was like watch them and I'm like, yo, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you guys are doing Tulum Tuesdays pretty soon? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Love
It's
that.
gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for that. But no, I feel like those are good.
Yeah.
Good. I have to question the Lincoln a little bit, but I'm kidding. No, we like Lincoln. We did a sip and dip there.
Yeah.
They're actually
Yeah.
awesome.
We did.
A lot of fun.
Okay, so when you're out and they don't serve Dezo, what's your go-to drink order?
They evacuate immediately.
Yeah. We're not going to that bar.
Fuck that bar.
Okay, well, if you're at Lincoln, what would you order?
They had Dezo.
Do they? No way.
Yeah.
Yay, that's awesome. Okay, pretend that they don't.
Yeah.
What's your go-to drink order?
Like a mixed drink or just like if I'm
Anything.
gonna
You go up
Like-
to the bar and you're like, bartender.
I'm probably gonna get a shot of vodka.
Oh,
Okay. Do you have a preference?
Probably Tito's.
Tito's a classic.
Yeah,
Love that.
cliche.
Okay.
Double tequila soda with lime.
I love that.
Okay.
Double
Brand?
tequila soda.
House tequila, unless they tell me
tequila.
something disgusting. And Casamigos.
You don't do Casamigos?
Casamigos.
Okay,
I was
gonna
gonna
say.
say, please tell me like Casamigos. if they don't have Casamigos, I won't drink tequila.
Are you the guys, the type of guys that would go up like at the bar, order a round of shots for a group, like a table of girls that you think are cute?
We just send them Deso every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you asking these dumb questions?
I don't know.
Dezo.
To
Dezo or
answer
die.
your question, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Not like all the time, but there
Like
are
only
definitely
like,
occasions.
5 to 6 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I got
every
I
day
get
of the
it.
week.
Not
What-
every day.
What's your go-to drink order?
I'm usually going through the cocktail list and trying to see what looks good. But a lot of the time, if we're like at a sit-down menu, I'll try to have them make something like a combination of certain drinks on their menu and see if they're open to it. Just because
So you're complicated like me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always have complicated orders.
And if I'm just running up to the bar and you can't hear anything, I'm getting rum and Coke, and I'm
Okay.
rolling with it.
Rum
Yeah.
and
What do you
Coke.
guys get?
I was always a big vodka water fan because I don't drink enough water, so I
Yep.
would just
Yeah.
There you go.
in college I was like, okay, well, I'm gaining a lot of weight. I'm drinking way too much, so I just started drinking vodka waters and it
Yeah.
was like
Right.
hydrating because I wouldn't
Yeah.
remember to drink
Yeah.
water. But now I've been like on the tequila soda train because tequila is the only upper. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I want to be in a good mood. Tequila.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I'm the picky one.
Could you guys tell that she was a tequila
At this point, yeah.
at this point?
You're showing your cards a little bit.
She doesn't try to hide. That's the thing about Abby, though. She's very honest. Like, she's like, I'm going to put it right on the table. She walks in. She's like, get the pink lights on. Like, mic check.
Mic check. Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good question because I'll only drink tequila if it's in a shot. I don't like white wine, or rosé. I like red. So if it's like a dinner, like I'll get red wine. But if I'm trying to get like fucked up,
Peter liked that one. Fucked up.
I hate any drink that has grapefruit in it. I just don't like grapefruit. But usually, like I'm just a classic like Tito's with like
citrus.
Yeah, like I don't really care what the mixy is.
Yeah.
But I'm just like I like Tito's.
Yeah. I feel like Tito's is always a good option.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if they have Dezo.
Okay, I have a question for Tim. So have you ever gone out with a girl that has slid into your DMs?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're open to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
No, I don't know. Some people are really weird with that stuff, and they're like, I won't like check my DMs. But other people are like, yeah, I've gone out with girls that have slid into
Why not?
me.
I'm open for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's discriminate.
What's your process? Is it based on what she says, or do you have to like peruse the profile a little bit and like?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna peruse the profile. I'm not gonna lie about that.
What if she's private?
That's a good question. It depends how the conversation goes, and I might toss a follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good to know. So ladies out there, you have a shot. Just feel free to just flood his DMs with
persistence is key.
Persistence is key.
You gotta get to the primary inbox.
There's no such thing as too many messages.
It took me a year to get into Dave Portnoy's primary inbox, but we're here. Okay.
We made it.
Oh yeah, we've talked via DM.
Love that.
Not like that, but like it took I DM'd him for a year, and then recently he finally answered.
He went back through all the DMs for the past year.
Oh God, I hope not.
Yeah, she still won't tell me what's on those. Like in those
it's between me and him.
Yeah.
I tried reading them once, and she was like, literally, it was like threatening me. She's like, "Don't read those." I was like, "What did you say?"
Yeah. What's going on in there?
I made it to the primary. Okay, so someone mentioned earlier about, I think it was you, Tim, about like, or it doesn't even matter. People reaching out, I guess, not even necessarily when you went TikTok viral, but with Dezo, like when people reach out from like your past or your childhood, how do you deal with like these type of people? Because I know like for
people
Shannon
that didn't talk to you.
Yeah, like
before,
they didn't talk. Like they
now
just come out of the woodworks. Because I am like the type like Shannon and I are polar opposite. Like I'm like no, like if they weren't shooting with me, Jam, like I don't really care. Like thanks for the nice comment, but keep it moving. But like I feel like I'm not the average person, and Shannon's more welcoming. So like how do you guys deal with people that come out of the woodworks? Do you think it's fake or do you welcome it?
I give everyone a shot now because I feel like the people that I used to deal with in college are so different now.
Yeah.
Like, people are a lot more open and comfortable being themselves and less like shit talkers. I just feel like that's a general vibe of people our age these days.
Yeah.
Love that.
I get that.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I'm not going to not talk to somebody, but if it's somebody who I've, like, never spoken to or haven't, like, rarely spoken to in the past, like, I'm going to be pretty careful about how much I disclose about what I'm working on.
Yeah, that's, I would say I'm more just cautious.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, I don't want, like, if you don't have true intentions to actually, like, be my friend and you're just using me, like, why would I, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. What about you?
I think we, especially coming from Boston, we want to see, like, our hometown succeed. So pretty supportive with everyone. Always open to having conversation, but like what Tip said, like intention, see where it goes.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. And I think like a big thing of that too is like you guys are doing something dope. So like there's going to be people that reach out that are like, yo, like it's awesome what you're doing. Right. And like there might not be anything wrong with that. But okay. So I know you mentioned earlier that you have a girlfriend, right?
I do.
Okay. So you're taken.
I am.
I knew there's three of you. One of you had to be in a relationship.
That's always
what about you two?
Single.
Both single.
And ready to mingle or not looking?
Mingling.
Yeah.
Currently mingling. Okay.
Yeah, just smile and wave to him.
Smile and wave, boy. No, I'm sure our listeners want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are both single and
We're
both
single.
actively mingling, like just nonstop mingling. Okay, cool. Good to know. So you're both living in LA. You're single. You have this company going on. Do you find it difficult to manage, or have you found it difficult in the past, I guess, like with relationships that you've had, to manage, like, you know, starting a company and dating someone?
Yeah, I mean, I just think I live by like the mantra that I think right now, like you have a small window of time to be living like the highest risk behavior. And that's trying new things, starting a new company, traveling, meeting new people, dating different people, like just finding out who you are in your 20s. So it is kind of tough to find a balance, but selfishly, I feel like this is the only time where you can kind of be selfish. Don't have a mortgage, don't have kids, don't have a wife, you know, so actively exploring as long as you're not hurting anybody in the process, you know, but I think this is a good time to just explore, find yourself.
Yeah, I think we're on the exact same page there. Just our lifestyle right now is all over the place.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
different cities, so busy, and we both had serious relationships that took a lot of commitment and work, so.
Okay. And do you mind me
Living on the
asking,
fly.
like, did the serious relationships end because you got so busy with work, or was it completely unrelated?
Mine was unrelated.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was unrelated.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if you met, like, the right girl, though, now, would you make it work, or do you think you... Why are you laughing?
I think that's a hard question to answer because, like, I don't know how I would feel, you know? Like, if it's the right person, I might just be like, holy shit, like, now that's the person I'm going to marry, or this is, like, the long-term relationship. So it's kind of subjective. I don't know how, you know, I'm not sure.
You don't know because you don't know.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know until you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, right now, priority is Dezo and
yeah.
trying to grow that as much as possible, as quickly as possible. That's where all the energy is going towards.
Yeah.
Do you see a difference in dating in LA versus Boston? I know
Yes,
you're not
more
from
towards
here,
you.
but
I've been here for 3 days, okay?
I'm so sorry. You can
Dating
chime
in
in.
Boston.
Well, you can just where you're from originally.
I'm from LA.
Yeah, so he's been in
Right.
Boston for 3 days, so you've had a
Right.
ton of Boston
Okay.
dating
Tons of
experience.
time.
You know the
Had a
Boston
weekend in
baddies.
Nantucket, Thomas.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
It's like a lifetime.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like, I think the social media stuff hasn't really helped my perception of that, to be honest with you. Because I just feel like there's a lot of people that are in it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a huge difference. It's a little bit more superficial on the West Coast, and you know, a lot more.
The rumors are
traditional.
true.
Yeah, a lot more
Superficial.
traditional back here. No, it's not to say everybody's like that, but
Yeah, absolutely.
It's different, I can tell you from my 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you have like a lot of like really good like insight, and you've been here for a while, so you like totally can like
You get
know
it.
everything.
exactly, you know everything. No, it makes sense.
Oh man.
Do you prefer West Coast girls or East Coast girls?
Apples to oranges, right?
yeah, that's a tough question. I don't know. To date, I'm not sure if I prefer West Coast over East Coast, but like I said, the lifestyle that we're living right now is West Coast is a good spot to be.
That makes sense. So you guys think like for right now in the long term, like you're loving LA and you want to stay in LA. It's like that's like the perfect place to be for like your company, your vibe, like what you have going on.
For the foreseeable future for me. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a lot of cities that we're expanding to quickly, so we just have to be on the ground. Like we're launching in Las Vegas soon. We're launching in Arizona, probably
Awesome.
Florida, Chicago, Ohio. So we have to be all over. But yeah, as a home base, LA is an incredible lifestyle.
No, I feel like
I've
that's
never
so true.
been. I need to come
You've
visit.
never been to LA?
No.
Yeah.
I have to take you. We should go.
I know.
If you have the right friends in LA, it's the best place.
Yeah.
If you have the wrong friends, it's the worst place ever.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But
I would agree.
complete other side of the spectrum. So
Yeah.
come hang out with us when you're there.
You get over there.
People are like chill and easygoing, Abby.
Yeah.
Think I'd like that?
Just like you.
No, my Boston uptightness would not thrive. I'd be like, why are you walking so slow?
Classic.
Okay. Well, I think that wraps it up. So before we let you guys go, just plug where they can find you guys, where they can find Dezo, individually and as a whole.
Drink Dezo at Drink Dezo on Instagram, drinkdezo.com. We ship to 38 states straight from our website, and you can also find our in real life locations on our store locator on our website.
We're also going to be launching at Encore this Thursday. So we're doing their
way.
concert series all summer, and
That's
we're going to be on the
amazing.
casino floor. So yeah,
In
definitely
Boston,
check
to
us.
clarify.
Yes.
Honestly, that is exactly what I want. I love going to Encore while everyone else gambles. I'm gonna chug
Rewatch.
Dezo, and then I'm gonna walk
Exactly.
right into Memoir, take my top off.
Perfect.
Just kidding. Sounds like a great night.
After a couple Dezos, you know.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Honestly, you were a lot of fun to interview.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
And for those of you listening, don't forget to pick up your Dezo. Where can we find it in the Boston area? Basically everywhere at this point.
Yeah. There's a lot of liquor stores. You can check out our website, drinkdezo.com. Wild Duck, Wild Duck in North End.
Okay.
That's a great liquor store. McCarthy Brothers, right on Charleston, Cappy's, Bell, Scorpion Bar, Lincoln, Envoy.
You guys are in a lot of really awesome places.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you're listening to this, go up to the bar, order a Dezo. If you go up to the bar and they don't have Dezo, demand that
leave.
Demand that leave.
Yeah.
Demand that they get it and then leave. Yeah.
Leave and then wait in line at the Bell in Hand for an hour and a half. And tell them that you know the owner and you might get it.
Yeah. Say you know Mark.
Say you know Mark.
They're gonna kill me for this.
I love that. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for listening this week, and thank you to the Dezo boys. Oh, by the way, how did the name Dezo start? Someone
This is a long story.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long story.
We can make it quick though.
Yeah, it was a combination of our 3 last names. We Googled the word. The only thing that came up was an Urban Dictionary definition. Definition was everything we wanted to put into the brand. And then we ended up meeting with this woman who was French Canadian. She asked us what it was called. She said, Dezo in French means of the waters. And we were like,
Est-ce que vous Dezo? Do you want some water?
Beautiful.
Because it's coconut water, watermelon water, and cactus water.
Amazing.
Yep.
Boom.
Thank you to the Dezo boys for coming on. You guys were a ton of fun, so we appreciate it. Maybe we'll have you back on for future podcasts, and we can hear the rest of your Hinge stories and all. And thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode and bearing with us. We love you guys, and thank you for tuning in every single week.
Yeah, link in bio to buy our merch, join our Facebook group if you're a Boston baddie looking for new friends and new places in the Boston area to get drinks after work.
Yes, we'll see you guys next week.
Cheers.
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 thanks, guys.